Greetings to all of you, wherever you're listening from. I am Commander Bimal Raj, a TEDx speaker, internationally certified trainer and coach, mindset mentor, and a teen and parents coach. In this podcast, The Awkward Discussion, I'm going to bring to you topics that are usually considered taboo or are not discussed freely by the youth, yet are some of the most pivotal things that we should be talking about. Let's start our discussion of the day. Now, have you ever stopped yourself from approaching a girl or a boy? Have you ever not volunteered even though you wanted to? Have you ever said no when someone asked you to speak or sing or do anything in front of others? You have the qualifications, you have the talent, you have the platform, and yet you hold back. Something stops you from approaching an investor, pitching an idea, going on stage and owning it, speaking with that cute boy or girl, standing up to your parents or society, etc. And the worst thing is, every day you see others who do not have your talent or knowledge doing much better than you in the same space. Have you ever felt this irritating little voice at the back of your head saying, "You are not good enough, you don't know enough, you're going to make a fool of yourself"? Well, if you have, then you must listen to this episode because I will be talking about one of the most common issues that we all face. It's called self-doubt. By the end of the podcast, you will know what it is, why it is, whether it is good or bad, and what you should do about it. Let me begin with this statement. Everyone has self-doubt. You must have heard many motivational speakers and authors saying, "Don't give in to self-doubt, believe in yourself, be confident." Well, let me tell you that it is easier said than done. And when you hear these people, you might wonder what's wrong with your mind that you have so much of self-doubt. Well, let me share some truths with you. Every single person, irrespective of who they are and how accomplished they are, goes through a certain amount of self-doubt. I have been training and coaching for decades and have been trained by some of the best in the world. And I'm also part of an elite tribe of world-class trainers. And trust me when I say this, we all go through self-doubt at times. My wife is a professional MC who has done more than 6,000 events, both national and international. Even now, she gets butterflies in her stomach before going on stage. I have friends who can sell a refrigerator to an Eskimo with industry experience of decades, and even they go through the "what am I going to say to the client" many times. Let's look at why do we have self-doubt. One main reason for self-doubt is the fear of what other people may think about what you are planning to do or say. Now ask yourself if this is the case with you, whether this is the core reason why you doubt yourself. If it is, ask yourself, why is it important to you that you go ahead and say or do what you're planning to do? And if it's really important to you, then you focus only on that and nothing else. Now it might be helpful for you to know where the self-doubt originates from. Now when you see kids, especially toddlers up to about 7 to 8 years old, they're very confident. They're happy to even come in front of guests and perform also. Now their confidence is very high because their world is primarily their parents and caregivers who constantly encourage them and motivate them. Now once they get to their teens and start interacting with people outside their family, they suddenly realize how inadequate they are in their capabilities and their self-esteem takes a big hit. They see people better than them around and they compare themselves to those people and become very critical of self. They realize that all that their parents told them about how great they were is not really true. This is where the whole self-doubt starts happening and it stays there in one way or the other. Now in some cases, the main cause of self-doubt could be their parents only. Some parents push their kids so hard that they start feeling that irrespective of how much they do, they will never be good enough. Now some other parents, in an attempt to ensure that their kids have the perfect environment, decides everything for them, even their friends, and these kids end up not having the confidence to take any decision on their own. Or it could be due to a sibling or a friend with whom they were constantly compared, making them feel inferior. Now let me tell you my case. I used to be very plump when I was very young. Since I was the youngest and the only boy among three siblings, my amma ensured that I got the best food and as much as I wanted. There were some kids who lived near my home, and every time I walked past their homes, they used to tease me and call me fatty. Well, to cut the long story short, even though this happened in my third and fourth grades, I am still very body conscious even at the age of 50. Now, the fact is that the reason for having self-doubt could be anything. There is no point in blaming your parents or sibling or anyone else. The only thing to do now is to see how you can handle it. Now, all that being said, self-doubt is not all that bad. Yes, I can safely say that some amount of self-doubt is good because it keeps you focused. It does not allow you to take things for granted. It keeps you intentional and totally present. So if you feel pressure to think that there is something wrong with you if you have self-doubt, let me assure you that there is nothing wrong with you or your thought process. You will always have it to some degree irrespective of whatever you do to overcome it. When I have self-doubt about a topic that I have to teach, I spend more time working on it to make sure that I cover every aspect of it and that the participants get plenty of learning from my session. I first went on stage when I was in kindergarten, so it was easy for me. I've been on stage every single year from then on, whether it was school or college. I was in a boys only school till my 10th, and for plus 2 I joined a co-ed college. I still remember the first time I had to go on stage for a debate, and that was the first time I was talking in front of such a huge audience, 80% of which were girls more or less my age. I thought I would faint. Luckily, I was part of a debate team and the others pushed me forward. Once I started, I was in my elements and it ended with a huge round of applause. Decades later, I still feel similar anxiety when I have to teach adults, many of whom are elder to me. Sometimes I feel like an imposter. Sometimes I don't feel confident enough. Every time this happens, I tell myself one thing. It is not about what or how I feel. It is all about the participants and what they are here to learn. And if I don't give my 200%, then I am not doing justice to them. This one perspective has always helped me. It's not always about you. You may think it is, but think about the other person. If you're not confident and you still go on stage, it may also give courage to someone else who may feel that if you could do it, maybe they also can. You become an inspiration for them. The challenge comes only when you give in to those doubts and let it overpower you in such a way that you get into flight or fright mode. Hey, but what exactly is self-doubt? What you need to understand and accept is the fact that your self-doubt arises from your internal conversations with yourself. My mentor, Blair Singer, calls it the little voice. It is such an important topic that he has written a book on it. Now, what exactly is your little voice? Let me help you understand your little voice. I'm giving you 5 seconds to identify your little voice, okay? Did you identify it? Well, those thinking, what is this fellow talking about? That is the voice I'm talking about. We all have it. It's the same voice that tells you that you can't do something. The best example is when you decide to start exercising every morning. You get new shoes, new clothes, maybe even a smart watch, and you're totally ready to start running from next day. You keep your alarm for 5 a.m. and sleep. When the alarm rings, you will hear your little voice loud and clear. It will tell you very convincingly why you should sleep in a little more. How you were so tired last night with all your shopping and all that your body needs is some rest for just one more day so that you can start next day and you can start fresh and properly. I know for a fact that all of you have been through this in one way or the other. This little voice at the most basic level will stop you from getting up for your run, and at a scarier level, the same voice can tell you why there is no point in living this life anymore. Both are the same little voice. It will be with you throughout your life. You just need to know and accept the fact that this is just a voice. It's not you. Now, if it's not you, that means that what you're listening to is just an opinion, not really a fact. So, here are some points on how you can actually overcome self-doubt. First, start seeing this little voice as what it is, just an opinion. So you can learn to listen to it objectively and know that you don't need to agree with what it is saying or not saying. Whatever it is saying is not the only possibility. There are other possibilities as well. 2. Have the courage and perspective to ask others for their opinions. And once you gain some experience, you can also be objective yourself. You would know whether the voice is sharing facts or is it just making up stories. Now, we are brilliant story makers. If you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and if they don't respond to your calls for an entire evening, you know the kind of stories that you make up in your minds, right? When I go through these self-doubts or apprehensions, which we all go through, I reach out to my friends and I share what I am feeling. They always remind me of what I have already achieved and how I've done bigger things than what I'm currently worried about. See, while I was busy with my self-doubt, I had completely forgotten about all these things. 3. One of the best ways to handle self-doubt is to write these thoughts down. We all have monkey minds which go all over the place with various different destructive thoughts, and that might make us spiral down. Writing things down has a couple of advantages. First, it makes you collect your thoughts into points instead of going all over the place. Second, once you write it down, you will clearly see whether those are facts or stories that your little voice has made up, causing your self-doubt. Well, I'm a coach, and in my coaching practice, when I ask people what they would like to work on for the session, they speak for about 5 to 10 minutes of all that is happening or not happening in their life and how upset and frustrated they are about the whole thing. Once they complete their share, I ask them to write down in one sentence the goal or issue that they want to work towards during the session, and suddenly they identify exactly what they want and they're able to easily come up with solution during the sessions because they were able to pinpoint what the issue was instead of going all over the place. 4th, write down your wins every day. Get into the habit of focusing on your wins rather than on the things that didn't go well. That will get your mind focused on all the times you did well or accomplished something. Even now, if you just make a list of all the things that you've achieved in your life, done well in your life, even the small things, you will be surprised to see the numbers. 5th, ask yourself the most important question to win over your self-doubt. Ask yourself, do you want to work for it or with it? Now, it's like living with your shadow. You can't get rid of the shadow forever, but you can always adjust your lighting or your position in such a way that you take prominence and not your shadow. Once you learn to identify this voice and learn to coexist with it, then you will be able to do things despite your self-doubt. In fact, have fun with it. Consider it as an adversary and see who convinces whom. Start with small things like not feeling like reading when you're supposed to, or choosing to eat healthy food instead of junk. Exercise that muscle of yours so that you get the hang of it even when much bigger things come up for you. As I end this podcast, I want to share some good news to all those who are worried about what other people think about you. Well, the good news is that those people are exactly like you. They are not thinking about you because just like you, they are more worried about what others are thinking about them. Alright?